Hi. In this episode, we're going to show how to set a default target on your system. Target is a collection of units that define the state of your system. Does your system have a graphical interface? Well, that is a separate target with its own list of units and services that give you that graphical interface. Or is your system more of a command line interface only with a multi-user target being used? So of course, the necessary services that make the system function, all those necessary units, except for the graphical units, will be included in your multi-user target. So setting a default target allows your system to boot into a specific target automatically. So in this, we're going to discuss really two separate commands. One of them is Systemctl get default to check which target is set as the system default target. Whenever you reboot or restart or boot up your server, this is the target that your system is booting into. You can set a new default target with the command Systemctl set default followed by whatever target you want to set as the system default target. Here, you can really customize what your system is going to start with by actually booting into a specific type of target. Coming up in the lab, we're going to show how to use these two commands to set and bring your system into a new default target. Please stay tuned for our lab. In this episode, we're going to show how to set a default target. So we've explained that a target is a set of units that define the state of your computer. For example, the target that I'm launching includes a graphical interface and all the necessary functioning of a regular server, whereas some other targets may include other units, meant for other functioning. Sometimes a target might not include a graphical interface or some other essential services in order to really minimize the kind of system that you are using. Now, in order to see what target that we currently have, first thing I'm going to do is switch to root and share that command, which is called Systemctl get default. And you can see currently my target is graphical target. If I want to change it, I can say Systemctl set default, and I can give another target, such as a very popular one, multi-user.target. This is just like the computer I'm using with all the services functioning. However, this time, it's not going to include a graphical interface. So watch what happens when I actually reboot my computer after setting my new default target. It should be actually rebooting. However, it will not reboot into a graphical target. It will simply remove all those units that give me that graphical interface, and it will only give me enough to boot CentOS into a sort of a functioning server, but without the graphical interface. So here we are, and let me show you through the magnifier that here this is what our login now looks like. We can give a password and log in. However, this is our system. We actually don't have a graphical target anymore until and unless we either type Systemctl isolate or set the default again as graphical.target. Once you set the graphical target as default, again, reboot one more time, and this time you should be rebooting into your graphical target. Here we have our login graphics screen. So this lets us know that we have actually started the necessary units to get the graphical.target off the ground. I'll close out this episode here. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.